So I'm just do a quick little intro before we get started. And I'll just keep monitoring to accept people into the room. So tonight we're honored to welcome Dr. Darwin Hayes. Dr. Hayes is the founder and CEO of Dental Brothers Oral Health Scholars Institute and the Chief Strategic Officer of Dental Residency Headquarters, where he helps students successfully navigate the residency application process. He's a former dental director of the state of New Jersey and previously led the GPR program at Bronx Care Hospital in New York. Dr. Hayes earned his undergraduate degree from the University of Virginia, his dental degree from the University of Maryland, and a master's in public health from George Washington University. He's an award-winning mentor, speaker, and author with a passion for supporting underrepresented students in dentistry, and we're so excited to have him here tonight to share his insights on applying for residency. So you can take it away, Dr. Darwin Hayes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Can you guys hear me? Everyone hear me?
Yeah, everybody
Thumb,
in here.
thumbs up. Okay. I just ask if you're not speaking or have a question, just make sure that you're unmuted so everyone can hear across who are listening in. Thanks so much again for the invitation. There's so much information that I want to share with you all that we definitely will probably have to have a part two. So today will be part one about applying to residency. And again, such a delight to be able to present to everyone at the school. Spent a lot of long hours and days and nights as a student there, but also as a SNDA officer, both in the chapter as chapter president, vice president, but also as a national officer, national treasurer as well. So you all are doing great things, continue to do great things, and also continue to prepare yourself for the next level here. So we're going to jump in. If you do have questions, please write them down, or also you can put them in the chat. It's very possible that the officers will be able to collect those questions and we can talk about some answers at during part two of the presentation as well. So let's jump in. Let's jump in. I've got some questions for everybody. Number one, what are the five mistakes that you must avoid when you're applying to residency? Do you know what the 8 steps to avoid having an unsuccessful residency application submission? Do you know what those 8 steps are? And also, do you know what traits and characteristics program directors are looking for in candidates? All right. 5 mistakes, 8 steps, traits. Do you know those answers? Well, look, even if you don't, or it's okay. Those answers to those questions are much more will be what we'll be talking about for a period of time in this presentation. This information is very important. How to use this information will be extremely important. Why? It's important because your success in being selected for residency training depends on it. Your future depends on it. Your future desired outcome, whether it's a board certified orthodontist, pediatric dentist, endodontist, that outcome depends on what you do now and how you implement these tools that we're going to be talking about tonight. So the goals, a couple of goals. Number one, to help you all get into residency this cycle or maybe next cycle as well. Also, to uncover and share some hidden secrets on getting attention faster and making sure that you transform your status from applicant to a resident that matches in the application cycle. All right. Um, Also, to share with you some tools and strategies to help you set yourself apart from others when you all are developing a strong application that gets attention. Also, the goal is to have the information so you know and have the ability to give the selection committee every reason why they must pick you. Every reason why they must pick you. So these are the goals that we're going to frame our discussion and our time together. All right, our time together. So, what is time? There's a lot of different meanings and definitions. But before we talk about that, who on the call has heard this before? Time is money. You've heard that. I see a couple of head nods, a couple of hands. Yep. Time is money, right? So a couple people have heard it. But what do you think about that? Is that true? False? Are there some ifs, ands, and buts about it? Well, I want you to think about it because it's just because it's a famous saying doesn't mean that it's necessarily true or false. But I think there's something about time related to money that you all should know, especially as you're applying for residency. Number one, I want you to think about this. If have you ever, if you've run out of money at some point in your time in your life, I know some people have, whether you're working, then you're not working, but after you ran out of money, have you ever gotten money after it ran out? Yes or no? Yes? Probably so, right? Why? Because money is replenishable. You can get more money. You can always get more money. But on the flip side, let's say you're a parent or auntie or you're a godparent and you're not spending a lot of time as much as you'd want with those children because you're hustling and grinding and or trying to get a promotion or busy at work. And let's say it takes you, 5 or 10 years to get promoted or to get that raise or get that additional money or get that new promotion. Those 5 or 10 years, do you ever get that time back? No, you don't. Usually you don't. And why? Because time is not replenishable. It's not a replenishable resource. All right. The most expensive thing we spend is blank time. The biggest punishment you can receive is blank time. So time is very valuable. It's much more valuable than money. And your time during dental school, what you're learning, but also as you're applying to residency will be it's very important that you maximize that time. And you're not going to be able to afford yourself the opportunity to waste it as it relates to it being a commodity. Time is a commodity. It's a very valuable commodity. So let's use this time today, right now, by jumping into some of the answers to the questions that I asked earlier. And let's talk about how we should be spending or how you should be spending time before the application. And for many of you, it could be this time, right? That time is right now. All right. So let's go to that first question. All right. What are the 5 mistakes that you must avoid when you're applying to residency program? The 5 mistakes. And I just want everyone to know, I'm going to include a couple links that you can get some of these resources after the presentation as well. So, 5 mistakes, 5 mistakes. Let's talk about those right now. Number one, number one, the, the mistake that you don't want to make is that you're not committed or you haven't decided, right? Everything starts with a decision. A decision is basically an act or process of deciding or determining or the need of you to make up your mind. All right. So you have to decide that you're going to be an applicant this cycle because you don't want to waste your time, right? You must be a person who will not take forever to make up your mind and then immediately stick with what you decided to do by taking action. This is key in the residency process because um, the process is very long, it's challenging, and it can make you doubt about your future acceptance just because you're uncertain, right? But as a candidate, you must be all in to succeed with all the components of this process that you're going to be diving into as a candidate. All right. So don't make this mistake. Don't make this mistake. Second mistake that you don't want to make is not deciding to attend one of the annual conferences or annual meetings of the specialty or discipline that you want to get into. You've got to go to the meetings, everyone. The ortho meeting's coming very soon. I think it's AAO. It's going to be in Philadelphia. You just had the endodontic AAE meeting not too long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. Listen, how can you be considered a serious candidate to become a board certified pediatric dentist, board certified endodontist, or orthodontist if you haven't even attended one of the annual meetings within the discipline? Right? Every year they have their annual conferences in different, usually around the same time of the year, right? They have a particular month, and only thing that changes is the location most of the time. And these conferences are huge because they're loaded with new information on clinical trends, research, technology, hot topics, controversial topics. And guess what? All of this information will be part of your new dental DNA, so to speak, as a board certified specialist. So, attending these meetings is also an opportunity for you to meet future colleagues within the specialty, who have attended some of the programs that you may be applying to, right? You get a chance to meet some of the program directors or faculty at some of these programs. And all of these people are known to be thought leaders and continuing education speakers within the organization. So you must attend these meetings and be basically thoroughly immersed in all of these aspects of the meeting, right? Um, it's also key because it allows you the opportunity to include details about the meeting and what you were exposed to in your application. In your application, things that help to assist you to stand out as a candidate. Because not all the candidates are going to know to go to the meeting. And even if they know, less than half of them are going to go. So don't make this mistake of not going. Instead, make it a point, make it your top priority to get to those meetings by any means necessary. And believe me, you will thank me later and you'll thank yourself as well. Okay. So don't make this mistake. Go to the meeting. Next mistake you do not want to make is do not have what I call defeatist mindset or suffer from imposter syndrome. Don't do it. Docs, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time that you can't get back, and it's time that you need to develop an outstanding application that gets you noticed and make sure that it's dynamic and interesting enough to get you an invite for the interview, right? So, yes, this is a new process, just like dental school was a new process for you. But just remember, when you're applying to residency programs, that you are only facing or doing what others have already faced and what others have already accomplished. So just know that you can do it too. You will do it as well. All right. So don't even second guess yourself. Yes, there's room for you at the table at the program, and they are probably looking for you, but don't know because you're doubting yourself or you don't think you can get in. All right. Don't make this mistake. Don't make this mistake. Next, number four, not keeping a journal of your experiences. Many of you that are D3s and some of you that are and many of you that are D4s, you guys already know the importance of documenting, writing stuff down, document. As dentists and oral health providers, we've got to document all of our ideas, our conversations, uh, that are related to treatment plan and recommended treatments for the patient. We got to document that information in the health record, right? The documentation that we do serves as an immediate reference for all the future conversations that we have with colleagues, referrals, third-party payers, and the people who are the individuals who we serve with oral health care. So, So this similar type of documentation is strongly recommended as part of this application process for the residency. So using a journal or a diary, and you can use it or create one that's either written or spoken. But using a journal and journaling is what most of the successful and intentional residency candidates and applicants will do. And they do it by recording all of the clinical research or didactic experiences like office shadowing, participating in community service events, assisting or conducting research projects, or like we just mentioned, attendance at a specialty organization meeting or annual conference. You're documenting all of these experiences because you're going to need this information for two important things: your CV, your personal statement, and actually it's a third thing. The third thing is for your interview to be able to talk and share examples of your experiences that you remember because you wrote them down will be key. Key. So the question is, do you have your experiences documented in your journal? If the answer is no, then you need to go back immediately and start documenting, catch up, and then continue to document those experiences. Clerkships, externships, all of those experience, shadowing, document them, write them down. All right. Create a Google Doc, turn on the microphone and do the voice to text transcription and just start talking about what you did that day. Document, document, document. So don't make this mistake. You've got to document. And last but not least, the fifth mistake that you want to avoid is not getting help or getting guidance, right? There are upperclassmen, there are faculty members that have gone through this process in the past, and there are for the D3s that are rising D4s, there are D4s that are getting ready to graduate that are that went through this process already. Seek help, right? Seek help. Getting into dental residency is your goal and purpose en route to becoming an advanced trained general dentist or board certified specialist. So the smartest dentist or resident student or applicant is the one that asks questions, but most importantly, asks for help. Why? Because we all need help, right? We all need help as it relates to our learning because we are in a profession dedicated and based off of lifelong learning. But help is key. Help is key. Get help before and during this application process and journey. Remember that the fact that you haven't done this before. Yes, you've applied to dental school, but this ain't an apply. This is not that. It's similar, but it's different, right? It's similar, but it's different. So seek the help from others that are uniquely positioned and available and willing to guide you and hold you accountable to yourself in this process. It's very key. This getting help is how you achieve the result and the outcome that you want. All right. So don't make these mistakes. And I actually have an ebook that I will share with the group. If you want us to send you the link, you shoot me an email at newdentistcoach@gmail.com and put in the subject line 5 mistakes, and my team will send you the link so you'll have it for yourself so you can see the ebook and a little bit more of what more detailed explanation of what we just talked about, the 5 mistakes. All right. Moving along. Next thing we're going to talk about here in the green here is the steps. What are the 8 steps that you have to take to make sure that you avoid having an unsuccessful submission of your application? Unsuccessful, right? Step 1, you have got to perform a deep dive of the programs that you're considering to add to your list. Currently, right now, there are over 800 residency programs in the database for ADEA, which is the American Dental Education Association. In their database, over 800 programs. Deciding which ones to apply to is a completely separate process, but to assist you in the process, there's a couple of ways that you can quickly and efficiently gather information about the programs that you maybe are interested in or want to apply to, so that you can find out a little bit more about the program and how it's structured. It all starts from going to the ADEA Program Finder database. And if you're not familiar with that website, it's adeapass.org, I think it is, or adea.org/pass. But you can also just Google ADEA Pass Program Finder, and you will see the list of programs, extensive list of programs that are divided into types of residency programs, right? All the different specialties and general, advanced general dentistry programs by state as well. And you'll see all the different programs. What's unique about that database is that you can click on to that program within ADEA and it will send you directly to that program's database. I'm sorry, to the program's website from the ADEA database. That is one of the ways that you will start to do a deep dive about the programs, learn about and see how many residents they take, what their curriculum is like, how many years the residency program is, right? There are some ortho programs that are 2 years, some that are 3 years, and then there's some that are in between, anywhere from 27 to 30 months. Which ones are there? I don't know. Which ones are you going to apply to? You may not know. That's the purpose of doing a deep dive. All right. So make sure that you are finding that information and starting to be familiar with that. And again, using that method and framework will allow you to gather some initial and important information about potential programs in a very organized manner. All right. So you've got to start doing a deeper dive about the programs. Next, start early. For many of you, today is starting early, right? For maybe if there's some D2s that are on the call, um, that are going into D3, and those D3s that are applying this year because they're going to be seniors and they graduate in 26 for programs that start in 26. Well, your early is right now. Your early is right now. Start early. You've got to start early. And early means before the date when the ADEA Pass opens. I'm highlighting here those of you that are watching. You can see there's a very important date in May. Usually the second week in May is when the ADEA Pass application portal opens. That's when individuals can open up an account and start to populate items for their application, including personal statement, CV, transcripts, test scores, letters of recommendation, including the dean's letter. There's a lot of stuff that goes on to this centralized application, very similar to like dental school, right? It's a centralized application service for residency programs. All right. Uh, Again, you gotta start early. Why? Because you need time, number one, to explore and research programs. Number two, you need time to talk to current and other applicants. Number three, you got to start early because you may have to register for some postgraduate standardized tests like the GRE that ortho requires, the ADAT that programs like endo require, and even the CBSE, Comprehensive Basic Science Examination, that programs like oral surgery and now dental anesthesia require that you take as part of your application. You also need to start early because you need to start making a list of faculty members who will provide you letters of recommendation. Hmm. Very key. You also need to start early because you're going to need to start saving some money because the Dia Pass application, it ain't free. It's $200 for your initial application, which includes one program. And I think after that, it's an additional $100 or $120, $125 per program that you're applying to. All right. So you need money. You got to start early so you can start saving money and start saving because when you get invitations to interviews, you're going to have to start traveling. Most programs are back in person related to interviews. So you need some time to save for interviews as well. All right. So do this step and so that you're successful. Next step is connect with and network with previous candidates, right? There's some D4s that got into programs this past fall and also back in January and February. Check with them, connect with them, right? Also, other candidates that are maybe leaders or part of organizations like a study group, right? There may be a pedo study group, maybe an ortho study group, maybe a perio study group. Being involved in these groups have lots of benefits. The biggest one is that there are a lot of members who have completed their application as well. These members or ones that have just gotten into programs are a great resource and they can help you significantly in navigating the process. All right. They can give you feedback as well about the programs that you may want to add to your list because maybe same programs were on their list, right? They can also help with you connecting with people who are in the program, the residency program right now. So definitely, definitely, definitely network is important. I've had discussions with previous residents, actually talked to a group of two residents that were part of a group at Meharry in their pedo study club. And based on discussions I had with them, they told me that one of the things that worked for them was that they worked together collectively throughout their whole entire process, and all seven of them that were applying to pedo, all of them got into pedo last year, all from working and collaborating and working together. And guess what? You guys can do it too. So, therefore, just implement this step as part of your individual process. Connection, networking, and meeting people who are going through it, have gone through it, and are already in certain programs as well. Also, fourth step that's very key so that you can avoid not having avoid having an unsuccessful application is letters of recommendations, right? You've got to be able to identify who are these individuals who are going to write these letters, these strong letters of recommendations on your behalf. For most applicants or most applications, the minimum number of letters the minimum number is three, in some cases four, and that includes the your dental school dean's letter. But the question is this: who's gonna write those letters for you? Do you know yet? If you know by D1 or D2 year that you're considering residency either in general dentistry or specialty, you should focus early on developing those relationships with faculty, right? Who knows you, who can speak succinctly about your development, your professionalism, and your character. This also applies to D3 students as well. However, by the D3 year, you may have a little bit less time. Well, you definitely have less time because you've lost a year, so to speak, if you haven't done it D1 or D2 year, but you still have some time left, right? To identify the right people, right? So if you're considering specializing, I strongly, and it is strongly recommended that you consider shadowing in that specialty with the faculty at Maryland or at another school or any of those current board certified or board eligible specialists in their offices around in the Baltimore area or in the Maryland area or even in your hometown if it's not in Maryland. Go shadow in their offices. All right. Specialty programs love, 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 love hearing directly from their other specialty colleagues about you as a candidate and as a possible future resident in training, right? Endo likes to speak to endo. Ortho likes to speak to ortho. Why? Because these individuals who are recommending within the discipline are considered trusted colleagues who understand the rigors of the residency training and can uniquely identify and communicate your strengths in those letters on your behalf. That's what you want. You want them to check off the box and say, I strongly recommend Dr. Jade for specialty training in X, Y, and Z, right? So be sure that you start to identify who those people are. And couple bonuses, make sure that your CV and personal statement is ready so that you can give them a copy as reference and give them some context as well as they're drafting their letters. All right. Second bonus is you got to ask them 3 or 4 months before the application starts, if possible, because you will not be the only student and applicant asking a particular faculty member for a letter of recommendation. There probably will have several people asking them as well. All right. Very key. Fifth, fifth step is make sure you start to collect information that will go into your ADIA pass application in a separate document. Well, Dr. Hayes, what do you mean by separate document? Google Docs, Word docs. You can start to draft and put your answers to not only potential questions, but also the sections of the ADIA pass application. You can start to populate those now, right? The only way that you can really start to do that is if you know what those questions are, right? And if you go back to step two, remember, step two, we said start early. Well, this is the reason why. You want to also start early on the pass application. So write this date down, May 14th. I think it's the second Monday in May. That's the date that the ADIA Pass application opens up. Create your account and start to look at the application. Typically, when it's all populated and you've uploaded transcripts and your CV and things like that, you'll have over 15 to 18 pages. Included in that is a request for you to write more information about your activities, hobbies, experiences in different sections of the application. Once you know what those sections are, you can now transfer that over to your Google document and you can start to type and fill those out so that once they're completed in your Google document, you can now cut, copy, paste them right on into your DiaPass document online because the DiaPass will be submitted online. All right. So create that content for your application in a separate document first so that you can add to it. And when you're ready to upload items for that section, all you got to do is copy and paste. Cut, copy and paste. Okay. Tongue tied, tongue tied, tongue tied. Number six, very key. And I think most people probably know the difference between these two, which is a CV and a resume, but you want to make sure that you're focusing on creating a CV. And we're going to talk in part two. We'll have an opportunity to talk more about how the CV should be structured, related to different sections, what order those sections should go in as well. All right. CV is important because you want to highlight all of your academic history, academic training, professional accomplishments, including research, publications, notable awards, projects, right? And for some of you that maybe took Latin before or speak another language, Latin CV, vitae, is Latin for course of life. What does that mean? Well, highlight your lifetime of roles and positions and experiences within the academic and education settings. Key, academic and education settings, right? Medicine, science, leadership. That's the purpose for using this format or using a CV to highlight your roles, positions, experiences within the academic or education setting. All right. You want to make sure that you're developing the right document so they were able be able to see that. And we'll talk a little bit more about those contents in part two of the presentation. 7, tell your story. Tell your story in the personal statement. All right. This is probably the second most important step in the whole process, right? The first part of the application process, or this is the part of the application process where storytelling matters, right? The ability to tell a story, but more important, your story, your story, your story about who are you? Why did you, or how did you decide that this specialty or residency discipline is part of your future? Who and which experiences have led you down this path? Why this specialty for you? What are you looking for in a residency program? What are your plans after residency? These questions and more are the ones that you need to focus on when you are drafting and telling your story in the personal statement. All right. And again, we'll talk a little bit more on part two, um, a little bit in depth, more in depth about this. Last but not least, get help. Again, we talked about the importance of help, but you need to get help in reviewing your overall application. It's a lot, right? Yes, it's like dental school application, but for many of you, it's going to be much higher stakes because you just have got to be a specialist. You've got to be an orthodontist, right? Everything that you want to do and continue to do as a dentist is based off of this next specialty, this next professional development opportunity, right? So get help from advisors at school or faculty members at school, uh, Dr. Morgan and other people that are there that have that expertise. All right. Again, your goal in getting into dental residency is to become an advanced trained dentist, advanced dentist, whether in general dentistry or in specialty. So you've got to get help, right? Get help. If you haven't done this before, it's okay to get help. You want to get help so that you can say, I am a board certified pediatric dentist. I am a board certified endodontist. I am a board certified orthodontist, right? Or a surgeon. Very key. Very key. And again, if anyone wants a copy of the this 8 steps, we'll be going into more details of what I've explained. Again, shoot me an email at newdentistcoach@gmail.com. Put in the subject line 8 steps. There is a small fee for this. We use this to help us support our YouTube channel as well. It's not 487, it's eight, it's 447, 47, and then 8 steps, as you see on the screen there as well. Also, feel free to email me. We have some other resources. I have a list of all the specialty programs, their websites, when they have their meetings, details like that that I can send you, that my team can send you as well. Again, shoot me an email at newdentistcoach@gmail.com and put in the subject line residency resources, and we'll send you a copy of the PDF so that you guys have that uh, as well. All right. We are wrapping up here, getting close. The last topic we're going to talk about for part one today is this third question. What are the traits and characteristics do you need to have based on what programs are looking for? What programs are looking for? And this will be a great segue when we talk next time about CV, personal statement, and things that you should include and things that actually demonstrate these traits, these characteristics, these things that you have or have experienced with and are actually doing or demonstrating as well. It all starts with this good fit. Very simple. They're looking for you to see if you're going to be a good fit for their program. A good fit means several things like, will you get along with the other residents? How will you handle adversity or challenges while you're in the program? How will you interact with faculty and staff? How do you handle quote unquote uh, criticism, right? Or positive criticism or feedback? What and how will you contribute to the program? That's very key. They want to know how you're going to fit into their program based on how you're going to contribute. How are you going to make the program better? They want to know fit wise if you're teachable. Are you trustworthy, reliable? And most important, will you uphold the reputation of their program? All those things are certain traits that program directors seek in their candidates, and all of those combined are characteristics that make up the attributes of what an ideal resident is for those programs. And every program is going to be different, but this is just a summary of what those things are. So let's look at some of these traits here. All right. What are they looking for? Again, dependable, a team player. And this word, I put this in parentheses because everyone says this. All right. I will tell you right now, don't, if you're going to say team player, don't say it without giving us a hard example on how you've demonstrated working in a team environment where you're collaborating, working with others. Don't just say, oh, I'm a team player and leave it at that. Give us examples on how you demonstrated it over your years in working with others. Empathy, all right? And being empathetic, which is the ability to understand and share another person's feelings as well. Humility, the ability to collaborate and work with others, right? Leaders, they're looking for leaders, because guess what you're going to be doing as a resident? You're going to be not only leading within your own cohort of co-residents for your year, but also the ones that are in the first year of the program or the second year of the program if you're in a 3-year program. You may serve as a chief resident who's helping with the administrative and the clinical part as well. We're looking for individuals who are compassionate, right? Compassionate, which is a little bit more than having empathy, but compassion as relates to having a desire to actively want to help people alleviate people's sufferings or their problems, right? What else are they looking for? Well, again, said this word again, teachable, right? Do you have the capacity to learn more and learn something new, different thoughts? Community, key, having a sense of community, both internally, a community within the resident group, but also externally, right? in the Baltimore community, in the DC community, in the New York community, or the community where the program is externally, having a sense of community because you are serving first those individuals that are from the community or from the area as well. Friendly. Are you friendly? One of the best ways to show that you're approachable and friendly is to do this. Smile. Smile. That shows that you're approachable, okay? And friendly. Trustworthy. Trustworthy. They must know that you are trustworthy because they must trust you with the two most important things at the program. And it's not the other residents. It's number one, the curriculum, the rigors of the curriculum to ensure that you're learning it, but also implementing it. They must be able to trust that you will adopt and implement the things that they're teaching you. And then the second most important thing they must trust you with is the people that you're serving. They must know and feel that they can trust you in delivering care to the people who will be there long before you finish the program. Last couple of traits and characteristics, self-awareness. Do you have enough awareness about yourself where you take the time to do self-assessment and show where there's areas and opportunities for you to grow and to learn more and to improve, right? Creativity, right? Things related to innovation, especially when it comes to opportunities for you to do research on different ideas. And then time management, being responsible, being able to handle the load and having priority over one, two, three, four, five different things at the same time, just like dental school, just like dental school, right? So those are some of the traits and characteristics that programs are looking for. The question is that you? Do you have those things? And if you do, it's your job now, your duty, your responsibility, and your obligation to tell the program in your application how you demonstrate these traits that they're looking for. That's your job. You must share that information with them in your personal statement and then eventually during your interview when you get to meet them in person. In person. So, in person, hopefully, well, maybe not next time, won't be in person, but it will be in person via virtual part two. Part two. And at that time, want to share some more information with you all about some secrets on how to structure, organize your CV and your personal statement because these are two important documents that will and are typically looked at first and foremost. Personal statement because we get to learn a little bit more of you, get to hear your voice and how you communicate, right, and answer those five questions that we talked about. But also your CV, which will be a summary of everything that's going to be in your DIAPass application. That 2 or 3 or 4 page CV gives us a great summary and highlight of your academic achievements and contributions as well. So we'll talk about that next time. And it's been a pleasure. If you have questions, please shoot me an email at newdentistcoach@gmail.com. And also for some of the um, also for the ebooks and resources, you can do the same. And I have our team send stuff out to everyone. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hayes, for joining us today and taking time out of your Monday night. I'll be contacting you regarding the next part two. Students, if you have any questions, I also have screenshots about some of the links that he shared, so I'll send that out tonight. And then previously we did record, we got some questions from people, so I'll send that over to you, Dr. Hayes, so we can go over some questions that people had with applications for part one. But thank you so
Yeah,
much for,
maybe we can just do for part two, we'll have a breakout, we'll have a little Q&A
yeah, that's
and that'll be fine or something similar. Okay.
fine. Sounds good. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.